Hello, welcome to the very first artist log entry. The vibe I'm going for here is like raw and authentic and just, just like not too curated. Like, for example, I'm not a big fan of this boat thing here. And I almost like went somewhere else to get a better background. But that would go against the intention of this series. So I left it. And then we also have this like garbage here. It's just like a empty protein powder thing. So yeah, welcome. I really am practicing just existing as I am in this space. The intention of this series is, first of all, it's mostly for me. It's me giving myself a place to verbally process my weeks and what is going on in my personal creative journey. I'm deciding to post it because I enjoy posting things. I don't know what else to say. It's like if I'm doing this, like I have nothing to hide, like might as well just share it and have it archived somewhere where I can access it easily later. And like what better place than my YouTube channel. Oop, that's done. I was just airdropping myself some videos for some reels that I'm going to edit after I'm done filming this. So I thought that I am going to like free flow these videos. However, oh, you know what? Let's do a little heart effect. There we go. That's much better. I thought that I would free flow these, but at the same time, I thought that it would be good to have some general structure that I can, like some prompts basically that I can answer every time I do an entry, just so things are consistent and I can like track things over time. So yeah, let me just pull that up. I've got it in my notes. Okay, so question 1 is, okay, so this is like, before I start too, this is meant to be kind of like an end of week reflection moment. So I can process my life as it goes on, because currently I'm at like the beginning of a speed up. I can feel that, like I'm at the beginning of an acceleration. I feel like things are going to start moving really fast and opportunities are gonna start coming in really fast, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more and like being out of my comfort zone and all these things that I've been like praying for years, and I think it's all gonna start happening. And so I think it's a really great thing to give myself this space to process it every week. So yeah, I just looked at the on my little thing, it says like the duration of the recording so far and like how much space it's taking and why is it already 2 gigs. That doesn't really make sense, but it's fine. Okay, so question number 1. How did I feel overall this week and what did I learn about myself? I felt very like on my shit. I felt very like I'm doing it. I'm in my rhythm now. I know what's working for me. At the same time, I also noticed where my energy is being leaked. Mainly like scrolling on like my social media addiction basically, and like how many hours in the day I will lose from scrolling. And like, don't get me wrong, scrolling is also productive for me because I get inspired from other people's content and I understand like trends and stuff. So then it makes it easier for me to create that type of content and trends and keep up with everything and like fit that into my own social media strategy. But I also tap in a lot to the social media platforms whenever I'm feeling uncomfortable or like I'm like not wanting to feel what I'm feeling or not wanting to confront what I need to confront. And so I'll just like scroll, and I really need to rein that in because I'm leaking literally so much energy by doing that. At the end of the week, I had a huge like influx of energy. I had one video get almost like 10,000 views, which is like the highest that any of my videos on Instagram have gotten ever. And that resulted in like, I think I've almost like 100 new followers over the last like few days, over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Crazy. So I was like integrating a lot of that energy. It's like things are clicking into place. At the same time, this like friendship that I'm really excited about is like blossoming, and this person gave me this like unexpected gift, like package in gift, like a gift, and that was really like amazing because I don't really receive gifts that often. And so I don't like at the end of the week I was just like processing a lot of good stuff, but it was just a lot of energy, really great energy, but a lot was happening at the end of that last week, and I got really tired and overwhelmed. But I'm really happy and grateful that I know how to deal with it now. Like on Saturday I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the steam room. I did that. Yesterday I had like a self-care day as well, and I just like spent the day cleaning up the home and resetting it for this week. So yeah, what did I learn about myself? I learned that I am capable and I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing because it's actually starting to work. Number 2, what stood out to me this week in my creative journey? What stood out to me is this idea that we're already good. It's just about us putting our own belief in ourselves that will lead us to the external success. Like, I feel like often as creatives, we think that the reason that people are not recognizing our value in the world, or not recognizing the value of our work, is because we need to improve something about the work, we need to improve ourselves or whatever, when in reality it's just that because we haven't received that external validation yet, there's a part of us that doesn't believe that the work that we have is actually valuable, and then that reflects outward into our experience. And so when we realize that no, it's not that our work isn't valuable, it's not that our work isn't already amazing, it's just that we need to stand firm in our own self-belief and our own confidence in our work, and like we need to see ourselves first. And it's okay, cut me off. But yeah, it's like when we actually begin to recognize ourselves and be like, no, you know what, this is actually good, and like genuinely believe that, that allows us to be persistent in our self-promotion. It allows us to show up with confidence, show up with audacity. That's a huge word that I really have started to anchor in starting last week, realizing that success is not about talent, it's about audacity. Like, how confidently can you put yourself out there, and how confidently can you back your own work? That's what leads to success. It's not about trying to make yourself better. It's not about refining and refining and refining and criticizing and improving and improving. It's less about that and more about standing tall in yourself as you are right now, regardless of, like, obviously you recognize that you're going to build skills over time, but what if you can also access success now, because your current self is a future version of your past self, so your current self is already an improved version, and so you already have the right to be confident because you've already improved and leveled up from those past versions. And then number 3 is, what are my intentions for this next week and what new things do I want to try? So I'm filming this on Monday. I want to film these on Sundays because I just feel like it matches the energy of Sunday more, but I couldn't get around to it yesterday. So that's what we're doing now. I have already started this week. My intentions for this week, really just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I had a epiphany having a conversation with Garrett yesterday where I was like, okay, I can't figure out how to like balance my schedule. Like I waste so much time on my short form content, like my reels and stuff, and I can't get myself to work on my long form, like my YouTube, and like I can't find any time to edit and all of this stuff. And he, after a while of talking about it, he was like, do you need to do the long form stuff? Like, if you're excited about the short form stuff, why don't you just keep doing the short form stuff and don't worry about the long form stuff? And then that really caused me to reflect. I was like, why am I so attached to the long form stuff? And I'm attached because I love it. Like, YouTube is where I started. The long form content is where I started. And so I think I've like attached my sense of identity to long form content. At the same time, there's a judgment of short form content, of it being like frivolous and like not deep and like superficial. Like, I don't want to be a TikToker. Like, that's so, like, I want to be a YouTuber. Like, I'm so deep, you know, like I'm such a deep person. Like, I don't want to be like a superficial TikToker. Like, there's some of that energy coming through as well. Anyway, I challenged it because I'm like, okay, but like, whatever you're doing, Reed, on short form content, it is working and it's giving you what you desire right now, which is growth in your community and engagement and feeling recognized for the thoughts that you have and the work that you put out there. And so why are you like resisting that? Just let yourself go fully into it. And so that's something new this week. It's like taking that pressure off of like trying to keep up with the vlogs and trying to keep up with the long form content, and just allowing the long form content to emerge as it wants to without any pressure. Like, not being like being excited to work on my reels for the day, and then in the back of my head being like, oh my God, like, but I haven't been able to edit this other YouTube video. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm the one in control here. I can just completely let go of that, and I can just focus on what I actually truly want to focus on right now, which is making 3 reels a day, which is like amazing too. Like, first of all, I just want to take a moment to celebrate myself for the fact that I have been able to stabilize 3 reels a day. And they're reels that, like, when I'm making them, I'm proud of them. Like, I'm happy that I came up with that. Like, let's just keep focusing on that. And then, so that's something I'm doing this week, is like just letting myself go fully into the reels, the short form content, and trusting that when the long form content, oh, you know what's amazing? This is long form content, and this is just happening on its own, you know, like this is not something that I had to like discipline myself into making. This is just something that organically wants to be happening right now, and so it's happening. And so if this is the only long form content that I'm making for the next few months or whatever, and I'm making a lot more short form, that's fine. That's great. That's just part of where I'm at in my journey right now. Any new things I want to try? No, I think that's it. And then also, like, another new thing that I'm doing this week is morning pages again. I was watching, actually this whole thing is like inspired by that as well. I was watching 𝓏𝑃g, who's the singer. She won a Grammy last week. I found on her YouTube channel that she had like 11 videos documenting her journey going through The Artist's Way, which is this like book. It's like a book. It's like a creativity recovery course in the form of a book. So it's called The Artist's Way, a higher spiritual path to creativity or something like that. Anyway, 𝓏𝑃g 5 years ago in 2020, way before she got signed to any labels or anything, and before she had any sort of markers or any like significant markers of external success. She went through this course and like documented her experience, and she was literally like just processing in the same way that I'm making this video. And so that definitely like inspired this series for me, because I got so much out of seeing her in her raw expression like that, just in her room without any production quality, just on her MacBook, making it easy, just expressing herself in that moment. I was so inspired to see that, because I have also seen her like super refined, highly produced versions of her and her creative expression. So I like really thought that juxtaposition was amazing to witness in someone else. And so that's also why this is like in the MacBook thing as well. And it's like my desktop, and it's kind of like, it just feels very like personal, because it is personal. And there's not going to be editing in this. I'm just going to like cut these clips together, because this screen recording thing just keeps cutting out after like a few minutes, but it's raw. And anyway, I was watching her, I'll link it in the description actually. I'll link the first video, and then you can like go in the related videos and watch the rest. There's no playlist or anything. But she also inspired me to do morning pages again. Morning pages is a practice that is taught in the Artist's Way book, and I used to do it a few years ago when I first learned about the book and when I first like started engaging with the book, and then I stopped. And basically the morning pages are a stream of consciousness. So you don't have to do it in the morning, but I find that it helps me in the morning. You basically just open the page and you just write 3 pages of whatever comes up in your mind. And I love doing that, because I find that page 1 for me is just like things that I'm aware of already, like things that have been looping in my mind. Pages 2 and 3 are often very surprising, because it's like once I've gotten out the things at the top of my brain, it's very interesting to see what's underneath that, like the deeper things going on in my mind. And it just gives me so much clarity. And I also just feel like, again, like it helps me process. Like verbal processing, I feel like is the best for me, because I can talk really fast and I can like think through more things. But written processing is its own form of therapeutic for me, because it really allows me to stop and slow down my thoughts and process at a slower pace, which also helps me feel like a lot more connected to the core part of me, like my source, like the source that I come from. You can call that God. But yeah. So that is it for this entry. I will come back next week to reflect on this week. Bye.